So my thing is, we should have more presence in Afghanistan because there's a lot of al-Qaeda that's still building up their numbers and a lot of other members that are here in the country because of what happened there.
In this intense debate, Charlie Kirk challenges a U.S. war veteran who believes America should return to Afghanistan. Charlie Kirk pushes back hard in arguing the real issue isn't overseas, it's who we're letting into our own country. Charlie Kirk makes the case for closing borders, avoiding endless wars, and putting America first. Let's dive into this discussion and hear what Charlie Kirk has to say.
How you doing, Charlie? First off, I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone in the crowd who has served our country and served our military. So my belief is that the United States should have a presence back into Afghanistan. And I know firsthand experience how it is with Afghan refugees. During 2021, when President Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, my unit was the one that had to deal with the Afghan refugees when they came into the United States. Operation Allies Welcome. And a lot of the stuff that I seen right there was not pretty. And a lot of the refugees that came over, a lot of them were either known or suspected of terrorism. Not to mention also, during the Biden administration, when millions of people came over through the border, everyone's focus is really on people from Latin America. But people are forgetting that a lot of the that came in were from the Middle East and were also known and unknown terrorists on the FBI watch list. So my thing is, we should have more presence in Afghanistan because there's a lot of al-Qaeda that's still building up their numbers and a lot of other members that are here in the country because of what happened there. And so my question is also, what will President Trump do and his administration do to prevent the next 9/11? I've seen a lot of, are you familiar with Sean Ryan? With his interview with Sarah Adams, CIA targeter, she stated that the next 9/11 is bound to happen in the tens of thousands. So what can we do to prevent that happen? And we do need another a more presence in Afghanistan again.
Okay, first of all, thank you for your service. I mean that, and thank you. I have to give you a compliment. You have an argument I've never heard.
Yeah, that was the whole point, because I know everyone argues the same thing. And this is something I really believe in.
I'm giving you credit. So, to be clear, you would like to see a re-invasion of Afghanistan.
Not re-invasion, but more presence, like how we do in a lot of other countries.
Re-invasion, right, got it. Okay, that's fine. So, while I acknowledge all the things you say, let's first make sure we interpret what happened on 9/11 correctly. 9/11 was not a we did not occupy enough countries problem. 9/11 was an intelligence and, most importantly, an immigration problem. We allowed people into our country that were not American to come into our country. And
that one.
I'm sorry?
Inside job.
Yeah, well, we can have a question on that if you'd like, but we're not on that one now. But I would ask the question, what do you believe that President Trump was elected on? More foreign wars and more conflicts, or less?
Less foreign wars, but okay, do you believe it was a great idea to pull out of Afghanistan?
Not the way Biden did it, but yes, I actually do agree with it. I think the way he did it was disgraceful.
Yes,
I think we
13 service members died.
No, of course. I met some of the Abbey Gate family. It's terrible. It's like saying you got to get rid of your appendix and you take out a switchblade and just start doing it. I mean, it was the most terrible, gruesome way to do it. We should have protected Bagram Air Base. We never should have left $100 billion of military equipment in Afghanistan. But just to talk more morally clear, we need to protect our own borders a lot more than the borders of a foreign country.
Correct. So I know everyone is really distracted with the war in Israel, the war in Ukraine. Pakistan and India are heating up now. So a lot of the focus is not really on what's going on in the Middle East and what is going to happen. Not saying
the best way to prevent it is don't let them into our country.
Correct.
It's an immigration problem.
Correct. And President Trump has closed our borders, and they're not coming in as strong. But the damage is already done. There's a lot of them that are already here.
And we need to find them, and we need to root them out and kick them out of our country. Right. But that doesn't mean we should send more of our... for one, I don't want to see people like you and friends like you have to go into another no-win war in a foreign country where you might have to lose your life, where the objective is very unclear. I would rather have you be able to live a prosperous life here in this country, close our borders, and have very strict immigration.
And I'm grateful for my time in my service. I'm using my GI Bill right now. It's doing great.
Some people should go to college, and I'm glad you're benefiting.
A lot of my NCOs, while I was still in, when we did pull out of Afghanistan, did argue that this should have never happened. And as NCOs who were there fighting in Afghanistan, so they do feel like, it's also kind of a question. What about now? We went to Afghanistan. A lot of soldiers died. A lot of our service members died. What are we taking out of that?
That was one of the most disappointing and disgusting days in American history, with the withdrawal of Afghanistan and those 13 Marines that unnecessarily died, who Joe Biden to this day never called those Marines for their sacrifice at the Abbey Gate. Thank you for your service, sir.
Would you like
yes.
a mini Jesus?
I'm sorry?
Mini Jesus.
Thank you very much. Yes. God bless you, man. Thank you. Yes.
Charlie Kirk respected the veteran but stayed firm. No more losing American lives in unclear, endless wars. Charlie Kirk stood by his view that strong borders and smart immigration are the real solution. In the end, Charlie Kirk made one thing clear: protecting Americans at home comes first. Do you guys agree with what Charlie Kirk said here? Let me know down below. Thanks again for watching, and take care.